Once that's done, we're going to be stitching. Now here is the seam right here through the center. So we're going to be stitching 1/4 of an inch on this side, and then before we get to the stop, sometimes you can feel around for the stop, it's right here. We're going to go across, and then we're going to come up 1/4 inch from the seam on this side. A lot of times the top stitching is determined by the width of the zipper head, and again, depending on the brand, the width of the zipper head can be anywhere from 3/8 to 5/8. That's going to have a lot to do with how far apart your stitches are from the seam line. We're going to try and keep it between 1/4 and 3/8. When I'm at the machine, I'm working blind. I don't have access to these guidelines, so you can do one of two things. We could have created our basting stitch as a guide, or you can get a ruler and you can mark the stitch line and then sew on top. Whichever way works, where your zipper is going to look nice and neat. I'm going to be starting at the top edge. My machine is back to the regular stitch length. I'm going to be doing a back stitch. And I'm just going to continue down. The great thing about the basting stitch is I can sew right over those stitches. Now my zipper stop is here. I'm going to mark it so you can see. I want to make sure that when I'm turning to go the other direction, I'm above this zipper stop. I don't want to be below, and I don't want to try and go over the top because your needle will break. So when you get close, you can use your hand wheel, and the needle is down. I'm going to pivot my work. I'm going to pivot this way, and I'm going to come across. And what I'm looking for is to make sure I'm the same distance away from the seam on both sides. So again, my needle's down and I'm going to pivot. When I pivot, I want to make sure I'm the same distance. If I'm not, I can easily go back, turn my work, and go further over. This looks good right here. So I pivot, turn, I put the foot down, and then I'm going to sew up this side. And I'm going to sew all the way up to the top. You want to get all the thread out of the way. And then when I get to the top, I'm going to do a back stitch. I'm going to trim my thread close to my work. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to take out the hand basting stitch, and I'm also going to take out the machine stitch. So I have my clippers. We did not either one of these at the top or the bottom, so it should be fairly easy to just pick it out, rip it out. You want to be careful that you don't take out your machine stitch, your top stitch. So we're just going to get rid of all of this orange thread. And it doesn't matter if you work on this side or you work on the other side, as long as you get all of the thread out.